You know, when your grandma Balk lived in the house that Ardith bought,
Right.
I used to go by on my bicycle. I would go my bike ride up around the cemetery and come back, and she would sit in the front by her big bay window and wave at me as I went
Oh,
by.
sweet.
It wasn't that she waited for me, it was just that's what she did in the morning, was sat there and look out on the world to see what was going on.
Yeah. Yeah. I interviewed her, and that's one of my favorite things that I have and that's why I think these little interviews are so important to capture as much as possible. And those booklets that you had the kids make, I mean, priceless. It's just priceless.
Some great stories. The one, my favorite is Sarah Kling, who got a full ride to Stanford, did one on the Great Bank Robbery, where they went in upstairs. The bank was where Delton's law office is now, and they cut a hole in the floor and went down in
Oh, wow.
into the bank and robbed it.
I didn't know about that, but I was Googling peppercorn pictures, and my husband's grandfather had taken a picture of the safe after it blew in the paper. It wasn't very good, the copy I got, but I had seen that story, and I read Sarah's story, and that's people just don't think about that with Augusta.
Have you ever been to the Boondocks Bar and Grill?
That's north of Augusta, isn't it?
It's in an old school. It used to be called the Ding Dong School after they closed it. It's about halfway from here to Stanley. Anyway, Tony Rachel runs it.
Okay.
And we were talking we go up there, I think maybe once a month. Stutz organizes it, and then Tom Crow picks up Jake and Dave Ryback and I, and we go up and have lunch. And Tony was talking about when he went to some of the neighbors, an old couple, to do an interview. And he still treasured that because he found out so much that he didn't know. And it was always, sooner or later, what would come out in these interviews is a kid would say to the grandparent, well, how come you never told me that before? And the grandparent would say, well, you never asked me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the other thing I can remember is I have an inverted rule about recounting your military experience. The more you talk about what you did, the less you did. The less you talk about what you did, the more you did. And I can remember Dick Ives' dad, one of the Ives boys, was interviewing him. What did you do in the war, Grandpa? Oh, not much. Well, what about that? And then his wife, if the wife was there, she'd always spring the trap. What about that silver star? Oh, that was for good behavior. Good behavior, all right. That's I think about the third highest you can get is a silver star. But and when they had the ceremony to dedicate that plaque or whatever you call it with all the Vietnam vets' names, Chuck asked everybody to get up and talk about their experience. And they get up and talk, and I don't remember who the guy was, but Chuck said, oh, what about that silver star? Oh, well, yeah. And then he, didn't say much about it because nobody talks about what they did to get a silver star.
Yeah, yeah.